official retest. So let's kind of bring up our footprint charts at ATAS again and see what was going on. Here's our first initial rejection, right? So what we're seeing is we are seeing this. We are seeing 210 for 90. We're seeing 192 for 32. So we're seeing a huge amount of aggressive sellers compared to the aggressive buyers. This is over a 2x difference. This is over, I think, a 5, 6, 7x difference, right? So we are seeing a large number of aggressive sellers. So we've seen a rejection over here. So already we know that the market is actually in control. Buyers, right? Buyers are in control, right? The reason we know that is because we see an absorption of aggressive sellers, which means by default, passive sellers are in control, right? So the only reason a fair value gap holds, the only reason a breaker or a demand area holds is because we see passive buyers in control of the market. Now, these passive buyers prop up over here, right? The reason why is because we can see price rejecting and heading higher. So this could be your first potential trade, right? Just over here. So to give you some confluence to this, we see price rejecting off for 1 minute and we see passive buyers over here. We see passive buyers over here. One other thing I want to see is I see a lot of people talking about volume profile. So the volume indicator on TradingView is pretty much lagging. What you want to understand about volume is this, right? So please take notes on this. When you see a 0 on one side, right? You see this 90 for 0, you see 77 for 0. So you see 2 0 prints, right? So what do the 0 prints represent, right? When you see a 0 print, right? This means that there's no aggressive, in this case, buyers, which means that the auction between buyers and sellers have been wiped out, right? There's no aggressive buyers at all, right? Which means by default, if you define volume is just the bid and the asks, right? It's the total number of transactions at that price. When you see a 0, that means by default, the volume has decreased. The auction has been wiped out. There is no auction between the buyers and the sellers. Now, with that being said, when you see a 0, this increases the likelihood of a reversal, and therefore you can put your stop loss comfortably just above this area. So if you are taking a long position off this fair value gap, you can have your stop loss just above this area over here, right? This gives us confidence in taking a buy position from here and having a stop loss over here because we know that buyers are in control and the auction has been wiped out. There is no more trading over here because we can see the 0 print. Now, if we just play